Okay, good day everybody, and today we are going to be continuing our series on consumer arithmetic, and today our primary focus would be that of profit percentage. Previous to this video, we would have already looked at defining the key terms that we'll be using throughout this series. We also look at calculating profit, we look at calculating loss, and today we're going to jump straight into profit percentage. So what is our objective for today, or what are we going to do today? Simply, we're going to be determining and finding percentage profit, right? And what we need to work with for today, we need to know this formula here. So the percentage profit formula here is given as the profit percentage. Here we have profit percentage is equal to the profit over the cost price multiplied by 100. So this is how we could calculate our profit percentage. So if we're given our profit and we're given the cost price, we can know how to calculate the percentage. Mind you, however, and we may not be looking at those today, but just jumping the gun here, sometimes they ask you to calculate the profit percent, but they may not give you the profit. But believe me when I tell you, if they did not give you the profit, then there is a means and a way to calculate that profit. And of course, mathematically speaking, you would often see it like this. So P percentage is equal to, so profit percent is equal to P profit over cost price multiplied by 100. And for what it worth, let's just look at another way you might also see this. So you might also see profit percentage as this. And they're all saying the same thing. So you might see P100 or 100P over CP. This is saying the same thing. All that happened there, they multiply the P by the 100. A matter of fact, you might quicker see the P after the 100. So let me put it after 100P. And the reason I'm showing you this because this, to me, when you see this way, it helps you a lot better with the algebra part of it. And if it shows up later, I would explain. If not, just know that sometimes you'll see the formula represented like this. And this is the same thing as what I have above. Believe me, I ain't changed nothing. The only thing I could tell you I did differently here, I multiply the P by the 100. Thus, I have 100P. The notation is still the same. P is still profit, P percentage is profit percent, and CP is still 100%. Sorry, cost price. Right, so let's go on to some questions. Here I have 3 simple questions. Let's see if we could target these 3 questions. Of course, if you are endearing as me, you can pause the video here and see if you could attempt these questions and apply the formula that we just did. Or if not, you can simply go with me as we solve these 3 problems here. So let's go on to the first one. So problem number 1. Obelix bought a fishing rod for $80 and then sold it, making a profit of $20. What percentage profit did he make? It is very key again whenever we're doing problems like this. Remember in the previous videos our problems was presented in a table. But here now we have a written word problem. When we have a written word problem, it is essential that we be able to gather the given information. Remember in our series of algebra, we always said that to find the unknown, we have to first figure out what is known. So here we have to figure out what is known. So let's read over the question and pick out information. So we know that Obelix bought a fishing rod for $80. So here I would ask you, what does that $80 represent? According to the question, that is how much he bought the fishing rod for. So I know that this $80 here represents our cost price. And notice the question did not say that. The question did not explicitly say the cost price was $80. But you have to be able now to figure it out based on what is given. And that is why we have to take our English language very serious, because this is where reading and understanding plays a part. Nobody said straight out the cost price is $80, but based on our understanding of what is the cost price and what he paid for the fishing rod, we could safely say that our CP is 80. So that's one information gathered. Let's see what else they presented us with. And they then told us that he then sold it, making a profit of $20. So this is given straight out here. No analysis here. They told us that he made a profit of $20. So what is the $20? Plain out, profit. So that's our P. That is $20. So here I just gathered 2 important details, I would say, from the word problem. And now they ask us to find what was his profit percentage. And we have everything we need. So here now we just have to apply that formula that I showed you earlier. Profit percentage is as straightforward as this. So our profit percentage will be the same as, I will use the second formula just to make it easier. 100p all divided by 80. Oh no, let me not put in values. Let me write the formula first. All divided by CP. Remember, you could use whichever formula you want, whichever one makes you comfortable. Nobody would kill you for it. So now I have this, and now I would substitute my values. So I have 100 multiplied by P, which I know is 20. Remember, 100p is the same as 100 times p. Or I could have put it in a bracket. Yes, let me put it in a bracket just for you to understand. There are various notations. So here you could put this in a bracket and you're saying the same thing. This is the same 100 times p. And this is divided by 80. Good. In a perfect world, we could break down here and then divide or see what could break down or what's not. But I have a calculator, so it doesn't matter. I'll just calculate it. So we have at the top, we would have 2000. If we multiply 100 times 20, we have 2000. And we divide that by 80. And remember, the percentage is always a proportion. So when you're dealing with a percentage, the answer that you get, you could always see that as a proportion, meaning that it is like a fraction in a way. So when you divide the 2000 by your 80 here, and again, as I said, you could use a calculator for this, or you could break down. Either way, you have to end up with the same thing. So my profit percentage here would be the same as 25%. That would be my answer. Again, by the breaking down, as I said, you could just cancel here. So 0, you could cancel out a 0 with a 0. And how many times can 8 go into 200? That would be precisely 25 times. You could look at it like that. And very key when doing a word problem, what percentage profit he made? It's very key that you have to state your answer. So he made, and don't mind my wacky writing, he made a profit percentage of 25, right? Or you could say his profit percent was 25, or 25% was his profit percent. Any way you twist and turn it, as long as you word it right. And this here is what crowns the matter, not just doing your arithmetic. This here is what crowns the matter, stating your answer. Your answer does not end here. By just simply showing me that P percentage is equal to 25 does not answer this here for me. This just tells me that you show how to work it out. So when you show me this, you just show me that, okay, you show me this here. But by answering the question, you have to state it. He made a profit percent of 25. And this crowns the matter here. Very important. Take note of that. Sometimes the question is not over when we finish our arithmetic. Let's go. Moving on. Question number 2. Carlin sold a dress for $50. So she sold a dress for $50. But she would have bought it for $30. What is a profit percentage? Very nice. This is a nice question. I like this. So Carlin sold a dress. She sold a dress. So if Carlin sold the dress, this $50 here, and I hope we could see where I'm coming from, is not the cost price. That $50 there is actually the selling price. So she sold it. That's the price she attached to the dress. So that is $50. Yes, we have selling price popping up here. But she would have bought it for $30. So guess what? She bought it for $30. So that $30 was the original price. That $30 there would have represented the cost price. So there we have. $30 is the cost price. And now the question is asking us, what is her profit percentage? I love this question. Notice now in this question, we were not given the profit, but we know that for the profit percentage formula, we need the profit. So even though it was not stated, we need to know that we have to calculate the profit. And this brings us to 2 videos back. How do we calculate the profit? We need to remember that formula. The profit is equal to the selling price minus the cost price. We did this 2 videos ago. So you see, if you follow the series, hopefully we would have learned that then. So the profit here would be the 50. Allow me to omit my units for now, but I know I'm dealing with dollars. 50 minus 30. And that will give me a profit of, oh sorry, I got to write 30. 50 minus 30 is actually 20. So this gives me a profit of $20. And now that I know my profit, and again I repeat, and this is something that does throw off a lot of students. Yes, they did not ask us to find the profit, but we need to understand that we need the profit in order to find out the profit percentage. And how do we find a profit? We have enough information. We have given information that could help us to find the profit. So sometimes we have to do that even though we were not asked to. Although sometimes they ask us, but they didn't ask us here, but we need to know that we need it. And now we can go to our profit percentage formula, which states that the profit percentage is the same as what? The profit, so the given profit over 100, no, not over 100, my bad. The profit over the cost price, not the 100, I'm jumping the gun here, over the cost price multiply by 100, and I'll keep it like this. Good. So let's just substitute values now. We know that our profit is $20. So we have $20 divided by the cost price. The cost price is still 30. That hasn't changed. $30. And we're multiplying that by 100. Very well. Easy does it. And if we do our maths here again, here you could grab your calculators, and if you're not allowed to use calculators, then you have to work on your long division techniques. And maybe I could always do that in another video. Right, so when I plug in these values in a calculator, my answer would be, I get in a recurring decimal. So I'm going to round off to 1 decimal place, and that will give me an answer of 66.7%. That will be 2,000 over 30, or you could say 2/3 times 100. Anyway, you have many ways. You have many ways to break down this fraction here. But the easiest way, again, 20 times 100, that's 2,000. 2,000 divided by 30. Any way you choose to do. And as I said in the previous question, just working this out does not answer the question. How do I know that this question is completed? When I state my answer. So what is her profit percent? You could say her profit percent is 66.7%. Now we finish the question. We have to state our answers. I will always preach that. State your answer. You're not over until you state your answer. Yes, you will get marks. You will get marks for all this. That I ain't say no. You will get marks for doing all this simmy-dimmy. That's important, and you need this to lead you to the answer. But you have to state your answer. That is when you get full marks. So if this question, let's say, worth 5 marks, without stating this, you would never get that 5 marks. I assure you of that. Take note of that. Well, unless you have a very lenient grader. And the last question here, let's see what we have here. So Becky and Sam bought a dog for $200 and then sold it, making a profit of 20%. Good? Or they make a 20% profit. How much did they sell the dog for? I like this question. And here we have to do a little algebra. So let's see what we know so far. Becky and Sam bought a dog for $200. So we know that they bought the dog for $200. So that amount of money they spend there is the cost price. So we know that the cost price is $200 based on the given question. And they told us straight out they made a profit. So after they sold it, they made a profit of 20%. So we know our profit percent, not just the profit. We know the profit percent. We don't know the profit yet. We could find out. So we know that our profit percent is 20. So this 20 here is not no currency, is not no money, is the amount, the ratio in which they made the profit. So the question here, they want us to find out how much did they sell the dog for. So they want to know what is the selling price. We want to find out what is the selling price. Let's see how we're going to go about doing that. The selling price is what we want to know. We don't know the selling price. But whatever the selling price is, right now, we could start betting that it will be a number higher than this. That much I know for sure. Or that much we could know for sure because they made a profit. So if they made a profit, that means they sold it for more than $200. Good? At least we could agree on that, I hope. So let's go to the formula now and let's apply what we have versus what we don't have. So I know that the profit percentage is the same as the profit over the selling price. And I'm using this formula because with this formula, in matter of fact, let me use it the other way because it will be more convenient for me here. If you see differently, no problem. So I know that 100p, yes, 100p, P is profit, 100 is the number we just multiplied by. So I know that profit percentage is equal to 100p over cost price. And here now we can substitute what we have. So we know what is the profit percentage. We know profit percentage and we're not finding it. In this case, they told us. So profit percentage is 20. So here, instead of profit percent, I put 20. That will be equal to 100. That 100 still stays there. I still don't know what is P. I will find out what is P. Do I know what is the cost price? Yes, I do. I do. Look at it here. Cost price is 200. So we have 200 here. Oh, sweet question. And all I need to do here now is make P the subject of the formula. And once I do that, I know what is my profit. Easy does it. But mind you, the question would not end there. But let's go. This is a lovely question. So to make P the subject of the formula, and again, I emphasize, go back and look at that series of algebra. Here we have some cross multiplication taking place. So for here, I will cross multiply my 200 to the top here. And by cross multiply, it simply means that I'm multiplying. So when I do that, I will end up with 4,000. That is 20 times 200. And I keep in these big numbers. I mean, I could break down one time, but I'm working for the layman, those that cannot see the breaking down process. And this is P here, right? So 4,000 is equal to 100p. And now I want to make P the subject, and here I have multiplication. To get rid of multiplication, if we follow that series, we will know that we have to divide. And whatever I do on one side, I do on to the other side. So if I divide here by 100, I also divide over here by 100. So this 100 will cancel this 100, and we can say that this 0 takes care of these zeros up here. So that will give me the same thing now as P, all standing by itself as a subject, equal to $40. Oh, nice question. Oh, good. Right. So P is equal to $40. And what I found here now is the profit. But however, this does not answer our question here. The question didn't ask us to find out the profit. The question asked us to find out how much did they sell the dog for. So how much did they sell the dog for? We know now that the selling price will be equal to the cost price plus the profit. And in case you're wondering how I come up with that, let me go back to we're going back to 2 videos ago. Profit is equal to selling price minus cost price. This is a profit formula. And from here now, I make the selling price the subject of the formula. So by doing that, I will get selling price is equal now to profit plus cost price. That is how I come up with it. So again, I don't cram formulas. I don't memorize formulas. I just remember one formula. And with this one formula, I could find the rest. So again, I just move over this over here, transposition. And remember, because it is negative here, when it goes over, it is positive. And with this now, I have what I need. According to the question, we have the profit here. We have the cost price here. So what was the selling price? The selling price would have been $40 plus the $200 cost price. And that will give me the new price for the dog, or not the new price for the dog, but the price that I bought the dog, I sold the dog for $240. I like this question. You will want to go through this again slower, but this makes perfect sense. And this is our answer here. And of course, remember, we have to state it. So how much did they sell the dog for? And you could say no, they, or you could say Becky and Sam, whichever one you want to. They sold the dog. The dog. So they sold the dog for, and we have the price there. They sold the dog for $240. Easy does it. They sold the dog for $240. And that answers the question now, and that also brings us to the end of today's video. So again, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. In the next video, we are going to look at percentage loss. How can we calculate percentage loss? So again, until then, see you again. Take care.